Namaste friends, my name is Amit Garg. Welcome to my channel Vedic Astro Amit. Today we'll talk about this important transit Jupiter in nakshatra of Krittika. It's going to be from April 17th through June 13th, so less than 2 months. In fact, Jupiter stays in a nakshatra for much longer, so this is going to be a very, very fast transit. Jupiter is going to zip through Krittika. Krittika is a fiery nakshatra, so that's going to be very interesting. Now, Krittika is a very interesting nakshatra because Moon gets exalted here, so it's a very special place in the zodiac. So Moon gets exalted. Why is that? We'll discuss. Even though it's a fiery nakshatra, why does Moon get exalted in Kritika? So we'll discuss the energy of Kritika, the deity, the symbology, the deeper meaning, as always, and then we'll figure out how Jupiter fits into Kritika. Okay, and then we'll see for all the 12 rising signs, for all the 12 zodiac signs, how does that impact you, what you can do. So we'll discuss remedies. And so this is going to be a very fantastic combination. Jupiter and Kritika, you'll see they make it a very powerful, royal kind of a combination. So first of all, Kritika. Okay, so astronomically, it's the constellation of Pleiades. Okay, Pleiades, it's known as the seven sisters, right? So seven sisters, and in mythology, it's the seven Kritikas, the seven sisters, the seven wives of the seven rishis. Okay, so we'll talk about the mythology of those seven sisters, the Kritikas. Okay, the word itself, Kritika, it means the one who cuts, or can be plural, right? So anything that cuts. So the symbols are like the axe, the razor, it's the blade, the knife, anything that cuts. So what does that mean? See, a blade can give us an injury, or if it's in the hands of a surgeon, it can actually do the operation and cut away that's not needed, chip away, just letting go of the diseased portion, letting go of something that's not serving us anymore, so that we can remain healthy. Okay, so the blade, anything that cuts, a sword, axe, razor, so they have dual purpose, right? So it just depends who's holding it, who's operating it. Okay, so same thing with this nakshatra. It can act in our benefit or to our detriment. Okay. The deity for Kritika is fire, Agni. Agni is a very important deity, so we'll discuss a lot of details, a lot of interesting facts about Agni. See, the Agni we offer in the yagya, in the homa, in the fire ceremony, we offer the herbs with ghee, and then we offer those to the fire, Agni. So Agni is the connection between the humans and the gods. So any offering we give, we don't directly give to the gods. We never give it to the gods directly. We offer it to Agni. So Agni is our gateway to the god. So we offer everything to Agni, and then Agni takes it to the god. So it's a connection. So it's very important deity for us. And the Kritika itself is called the star of fire. That's the reason. And so Agni, the fire, is purification. It purifies everything we offer. No matter how impure or how dirty or how bad something that we're offering, it cleanses and purifies before it offers to the gods. Okay, so in other words, Agni it's also a Jatar Agni, right? So the digestive fire. Agni can eat everything. Everything gets purified that's consumed by Agni. So Agni is also transformation. It basically it transforms everything into a pure form. So, and another way of looking at it is Agni also, so Kritika Nakshatra also means a lot of changes, ups and downs in life. Okay. Now, Agni, the fire, is also our discernment. Okay. So deciding good and bad. It destroys the evil, the negative effects, but it's also our intelligence. Okay. The buddhi, dhi is Agni. So the fire of digestion, as well as fire of intelligence. So that's Agni. Okay, so the cooking is also Agni. Same thing as a blade. Just like a blade can cut or blade can heal in the hands of a surgeon, Agni as well. It can burn down our house or it can cook our food. So it has dual purpose. So there's lots of stories. So let's understand this energy deeper level through the mythology, through various stories. So first story is uh, the Agni had illicit relationship with the wives of the rishis, the Kritikas. So Agni was sort of infatuated by the wives of seven rishis, and so Agni disguised as the husbands of these seven wives. Those were sisters. So he could disguise as their husband and then, go and have a relationship with them, stay with them for a day or whatever. And so Agni was able to do that with six of the wives. The seventh one, Arundhati, he couldn't do that because she was very pious and she was extremely devoted to her husband. So she could see through this disguise. But Agni did have this relationship with six of the seven wives. So that's why then, after that relationship, they collectively gave birth. That's one story. They gave birth to uh, a baby and they nurtured the baby together in their womb. So that's one story. The other one is Agni had relationship with Swaha. Actually, Swaha is she was infatuated with Agni, and then she herself disguised as six different wives of the rishis, and so had relationship with Agni. So Agni didn't know it was Swaha. Agni thought it was the wives of the rishis. So again, same thing could do with the six, but not the seventh one. So then they had a baby. Agni and Swaha had a baby, which again, so we'll discuss who the baby was. Another story where uh, it's the demons were attacking the gods, and the gods really wanted somebody powerful. They were not able to defeat the demons, so they approached Lord Shiva, and Shiva agreed. Shiva said, that the gods desperately wanted a boy or a child or offspring of Shiva, and so Shiva agreed, and Shiva. So from the semen of Lord Shiva, it fell on the ground, and so this long story. So ultimately, it was captured. It was basically nurtured by the six Kritikas, the six wives of the rishis. So they became the six mothers. Okay, so there's this idea of taking care of children at a very young age, raising somebody else's child, foster care, right? So um, and also this illicit affairs, right? So being attracted towards the other people's wives. So that's big in Kritika. But the biggest among them is the nurturing aspect. So the six wives, they nurtured this baby collectively in their womb, and then that baby became Kartikeya, the son of Shiva, and he's the one who defeated the demons. And so also it is said that this baby had six heads. That's why, because of the six mothers, so six heads, and that's why one of the names of Kartikeya is Shanmuga, Shanmugam, and so that means literally means six faces or six mouths. Okay, so that's the whole mythology. So we can see, lots of things. That's Agni. Again, Agni is purification. Agni is digestion. Agni is transformation. Agni is discernment. Agni is intelligence. Okay, so those are the qualities of this nakshatra. Now, another aspect is this nakshatra is ruled by sun. Okay, so this is the third nakshatra. It's ruled by sun. So sun, all the qualities of sun, authority. Sun is the king, so name and fame is important. Sun is powerful, right? So power and status. And sun is the soul, it's the self. Sun represents ourself. So the person is very self-aware. So this nakshatra, whichever planet goes in this nakshatra, that becomes self-aware in its own way. We'll discuss the Jupiter in Kritika. And then there's idea of leadership. Kritika is the leader, sun is the leader. There's brilliance, there's radiance, there's illumination, there's light. Okay, and there is this royal stature, this charisma, like a somebody of importance, right? And then there is ambition, very ambitious. Sun is, the king, big ambitions. Okay, there is passion for life. There is zest for life. Like, they have real this like they're not just dragging their feet. They're living the life every single moment. And there's a lot of creativity. Sun is the natural in Kalpush Kundali. Sun is the ruler of the fifth house, right? So fifth sign, essentially, that's Leo. That's also related to the fifth house of creativity. So Sun represents creativity. Sun is precision, like Sun is always exactly on time, right? So very precise. Sun represents high goals, high achievers. That's the Sun. All the high executives, that's Sun. The power, the authority, the politicians, all of that is Sun. And also now this baby that was born is Kartikeya, or another name is Kanda or Shanmuga. And so, then he defeated the demons, right? So bravery, Krittika is extremely brave. They they can really, they have the power to withstand or overcome the obstacles through their bravery. So it's a very bold, very fierce, courageous nakshatra. It can cut through resistance and achieve big things in life. So that's overall energy of Krittika. And so now Jupiter, right? So Jupiter in Krittika, Jupiter is what? Jupiter is dharma. So this gives a very sattvic quality to this nakshatra or this combination. Jupiter is expansion. So Jupiter is expansion and Krittika is Agni. So basically, this provides the space, the ether element, for Agni to expand, to do its thing. It gives a very wise kind of a combination to this energy to this combination. So this is a perfect like it'll expand your intelligence. It will expand our even make us more bold and uh, sort of like a fighter for the right cause. Because sun follows the truth. Sun is a sattvic planet. Sun wants dharma. And Jupiter is the planet of dharma. So combination of Jupiter and Sun, you can think of this as the advisor, the guru, is with the king. So the king is listening to the guru, right? So the king is not just going out to war. King has a good advisor, a good guru who is actually guiding every step of the way. So this is a really powerful. So we'll see expansion in a lot of things. So we'll go one by one. But the remedies, of course, the remedies are pretty simple. How we can enhance this, like I discussed. Fire can burn our house or fire can cook our food. So we want to cook our food. So we want the positive aspects of Agni, of fire god. We want the blessings of Agni so that our Jatar Agni is activated as well as our intelligence, the processing power, that's Agni. How we process knowledge and turn it into wisdom. So see, Agni, that's the job of Agni. It processes information in our body, right? So in our mind, in our brain. Now add Jupiter to it. So this will make sure, Jupiter and Kritika combination will make sure that whatever we are processing through Agni will get digested as wisdom. So Agni digests anyway, but then Jupiter will make sure that it's digested in such a way that it really turns into deep wisdom. So this is a really powerful, spiritually powerful 2 months. We can undertake a lot of projects that involve intelligence, that involve dharmic work, that involve being the crusader. And so that's the energy for Jupiter in Kritika. And so in terms of remedies, uh, of course you can do yagyas, fire ceremonies, very, very, no-brainer. I mean, that's the direct way of honoring the Agni, or any kind of fire ceremonies, yagyas. Honor the fire by doing tratak sadhana. So you can do tratak sadhana, which is like gazing at a lamp, at the flame of fire. So you can light a candle, sit a couple of feet away from that, a couple of feet away from that. Or better is light a ghee lamp, a diya, right, a jyot, and sit in front of it and then gaze at the fire. And as you gaze, so that will cleanse. Literally, it's like your eyes may water, and so let it water, and then so it'll cleanse your eyes, your eyesight, your vision, and then that energy, that fire energy, you'll absorb, and it will kindle your Jataragni, and it will improve your intelligence. So that's another remedy for Kritika. And literally doing yagyas where you're actually chanting a lot of mantras, different kind of mantras, maybe for Navgraha or especially for Jupiter. So any Jupiter mantras you can do, yagyas you can do with Jupiter mantras. And then you can be bold, undertake big projects and don't be afraid. And so this will give you this power. This will make you like a king, like a royal, uh, you know, the leader. So be a leader. Uh, feel that you have this power, this radiance of fire within you. You're shining bright. So achieve big things. So now we'll discuss for all the 12 zodiac signs how that manifests. And if you like the content so far, I request you to please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the notifications. So let's begin the 12 signs one by one. First of all is Aries. So look at the lagna. If you don't know the time of birth, that means then you can look at the moon sign, but preferably look from the lagna, the rising sign. So if you're Aries lagna, then so we're talking about Jupiter's transit through Krittika nakshatra. So Jupiter is the planet. So for Aries, Jupiter is the ninth lord and the 12th lord. Okay, so ninth lord and 12th lord, ninth house and 12th house, both are very spiritual houses. Ninth house is our dharma. Ninth house is belief system. Ninth house is gurus and father, our sangha. Okay, and 12th house is foreign people, restricted places. 12th house is also, in fact, one of the big things with, of course, the 12th house is also other planes of existence. So that combination of ninth house and 12th house means real focus on spiritual progress. Very powerful energy for you, complete spiritual transformation. Also focus on big projects or big things in terms of your spiritual path. So that could be your profession, your work, but more importantly, that could be something that you have a passion for. So or just on the side, some projects, spiritual projects, big spiritual projects. Maybe you always wanted to set up a retreat center. Okay, maybe you wanted to teach. So ninth house is a teacher, be a guru. Okay, so that's the key uh, message is you can be a guru, be a leader, a very powerful, sophisticated, refined, dharmic leader, and who can really use their intellect, their intelligence, their agni, to effect the change and transformation and purification, all those things through their creativity, spread the dharma. Okay, so do some big projects, be bold, be very fiery and courageous, cut through the chase. So that's one thing. There's one caution for Aries is because 12th house is involved. 12th house is could also be connected with a lot of sexual energy, hidden things, right? So be very careful, and in terms of any kind of illicit affairs or any tendency to be attracted to other people, who are you're not supposed to. So be very truthful because Sun is the ruler. Uh, but otherwise, you could do things with your father. You could do things for your father or with the gurus, for your gurus. You could also do pilgrimage, big time for pilgrimage because ninth lord and 12th lord in Kritika burn the fire or do tapasya, do sadhana, do a lot of penance, a lot of spiritual work. Of course, the yagyas and fire. So we discussed the remedies in the intro section for all the 12 signs in general and the deeper meaning of this nakshatra. But specifically for Aries, because your Lagna Lord is Mars, right? Mars is all the fire, Pitta, Agni as well. And now see Mars, Agni in Mars and Agni for Surya is different. Mars Agni is that could actually burn. Surya Agni is that gives us intellect. Okay, that gives us illumination. So the light of fire is Surya. The actual heat of fire is Mars. So that's a great combination, which gives you, but all under the protection and guidance of the Guru Jupiter. Okay, so sky's the limit, shine bright in spiritual realms. Of course, the 12th house things you could do, energy healing, past life regression, all of that through discernment. Like, okay, figure out what's real, go to the truth of the matter. This body is not real, this mind is not real. So what's real? Your soul is real. And then where does the soul go when you sleep? When you're dreaming. So that's 12th house. So you can cut to the chase, you can cut through the illusion. That's the key thing for Aries. You can cut through the illusion because it's the combination of fire and Jupiter and Sun and Mars, all of that. So great time for you to rise and literally get the blessings of Agni and flourish in your spiritual progress, in your spiritual path. All right. Next is Taurus. So Taurus rising, look at the rising sign. And if you don't know your time of birth, then of course you can see from the moon sign. So Taurus rising. For Taurus people, Jupiter is the 8th house ruler and the 11th house ruler. Okay, so what does 8th house and 11th house combination mean? 8th house is what? Esoteric wisdom, change, transformation. 11th house is gains. So literally, when you have the same planet ruling the 8th house and the 11th house, that means you have natural tendency to gain from spiritual work, from deep spiritual work. Okay, so that means Jupiter is a planet for you who will do that for you. And so we're talking about Jupiter transit through Krittika, which is an extremely spiritual nakshatra. So you stand to gain um, through purification and transformation. 8th house is transformation. So this is going to be a very transformative period for you to really do some big, high quality, spiritual work, change at a very deep level. But this change is not just, superficial change. This will bring financial gains as well. So if you set up things, if you do start big projects right now for spiritual transformation, or also anything to do with the, networking, 11th house, reaching out to the social media, all of that. But do in a very intelligent fashion, not just like posting stuff like what you eat for breakfast, right? So something that's very wise and, uh, spiritual. So networking, but also 8th house is dealing with the wealth of other people, right? So wealth management, you may get inheritance. So all of that is possible. But then the big caution is 8th house is hidden secrets as well. It's not, of course, it's the hidden secret wisdom, but at the same time, it's also any secrets that we don't want to reveal, right? So our dirty secrets could be. So that's the caution, not to fall in that trap. To have hidden things, like especially Krittika is related with having illicit affairs with wives of other people. That's the whole story we discussed in the intro section. So be very careful, because 8th house is that secret, uh, secret stuff in our life. So there could be temptation. I mean, that's the thing. The Kritika gives you the temptation. Agni had this temptation to have illicit relationship with the wives of the 7 rishis. So 8th house, be careful now also, because 11th house is our desires. Agni is like, could be a wildfire. Agni and Jupiter combination on the negative side could be like a wildfire. And so for you, 8th house, 11th house combination means this could be like hidden desires, very secretive or negative kind of excessive desires, expansive desires. So that's another caution. So this period, be careful not to let your desires run wild. You have to control your desires and follow the path of Agni, which is the purification, which is intelligence, which is the buddhi. Right, so which is Agni is the connection between us and the gods, right? So humans and the gods. So that's the important thing to do during this transit. Uh, so that's for the sign of Taurus. All right, next is the sign of Gemini. So if you're a Gemini rising, so we're looking at the rising sign here. If you don't know the birth time, then you can look at your moon sign, but rising sign is more appropriate. So we're talking about Gemini. We're talking about this transit of Jupiter in the nakshatra of Krittika. Okay. So for Gemini, Jupiter is your seventh lord and your 10th lord. So the whole mythology, so read the or listen to the stories in the intro section. Very, very big caution for you to not fall for any, kind of extramarital affairs or illicit behavior because seventh lord is involved here. And it's going to be in Kritika Nakshatra. Especially maybe attraction to, uh, wife, of course, wives of other people or partners of other people, but especially something to do with the gurus. And seventh house is your partner, your spouse, right? So focus on this purification and transformation of your own relationship, okay, through the fire. Maybe do fire ceremonies together, yagyas together. You can nurture each other. You can work on some creative projects together. That's Agni. Okay. Set some high goals and spiritual progress together. Cut through the chase. Like there shouldn't be any miscommunication or um, illusion in your relationship anymore. So this is the perfect time to have that clarity. uh, you know Not beat around the bush, have direct communication, um, direct line of communication, and also um, discuss things that are of higher significance, very intelligent discussions. Okay, and you can also, do cooking together. That's a really good remedy for Gemini. Cooking together because Agni cooks our food. That's one of the big things. And, any kind of purification and change um, and then you can do some big projects together. That's 10th house connection also. So being a leader, set up some business together. I mean, 7th house, 10th house combination. Anyway, this all points to business. So what good better time could be than now? So there's creativity of the Surya. There is, authority and high goals and all of that of Surya. Okay, there's bravery of Surya, and there is combination of 7th house and 10th house, and there is expansion of Jupiter. So work on some massive, big projects together for business. And that could be on the spiritual line, but doesn't have to be. But at least something that's dharmic, that's sattvic, that's in the positive direction. Not being like gouging money from other people, but very honest kind of business could be anything. Um, and where you're a leader, you're shining bright. You're trying to bring light to the universe. Okay, so any big projects with your now doesn't have to be with your partner, but even at your work, 10th house is your profession. In your own profession also, you can shine bright. Stay away from any kind of, sexual things at work, like any affairs, any or even any gossip around affairs and things like that, right? So that's big caution at your workplace. Um, because Agni, there is again weakness for women or other people's partners, wives, illicit relationships, all that. But otherwise, this is excellent time for you to shine as a leader in your profession. Okay. And you may also have favors from the politicians, from authorities. So this is a good time to approach. Maybe if you have some pending work or you need something done by the government officials or higher authorities, like straight away go to the CEO, right? So if you have something, some project or something, don't have to even go to the middle management. Directly work with the higher authorities, with the CEO, the C-level executives, or you become the CEO of a company, like start a company, things like that. So very creative 2 months for you to work on your relationships and your career. Next is the sign of Cancer. So you can look at Cancer. So this is for Cancer rising. If you don't know the birth time, then you can look at your moon sign, but better is to look at the rising sign, the Lagna. So if you're Cancer Lagna, Cancer zodiac sign, then Jupiter is the ruler of your sixth house and your ninth house. Okay, so a combination of sixth house and ninth house. So what does that mean? Watch the intersection for all of the stories and everything for Krittika and Jupiter. Now, sixth house is our Shadripus. Okay, so this is excellent time to burn off our Shadripus. Very simple, very clear. Kritika is Agni. Agni is the fire. that burns and purifies and transforms. So perfect time to purify your, inner weaknesses and transform and change, be a different person, completely transform. Second could be your health. Start some health routines, that will help you long term. And also helping other people. Like Surya is the ruler of Kritika, right? Sun wants to help other people, so good time to help other people. Then also sixth houses are enemies, obstacles, right? So this is a good time. You have the power, you have the courage, you have this fighting ability of Kritika to fight against the enemies, both external and internal. Okay. Um, Now, at the same time, sixth house is our work, or 9 to 5 job also, right? So at the job, be careful not to have any kind of feelings of illicit affairs or attraction towards other people. But you will actually shine at your job. So this is the time to rise and show your intelligence and wisdom and courage and creativity, all of that in your job. Now, ninth house is our gurus. So a great time to, in fact, be a guru, start teaching something to other people, have discussions, really very intelligent, deep discussions. Um, and ninth house is also pilgrimage. So, good time to go on a pilgrimage, spend time at the temples, literally doing yagyas at the temple, in your home, of course, but attending yagyas, the fire ceremonies in the temples. And then lots of discussions with your sangha. Okay. Kritika is all about digestion, intelligence. Jupiter is wisdom. Ninth house is faith and wisdom and sangha, all of that. So combine all of that. And then I always say, like, if there is a combination of the sixth house and the ninth house, that means literally you can bring your weaknesses, which is sixth house, the Shadripus, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mat, Matsarya. Those 6 weaknesses you can bring over at the feet of your guru, offer those at the feet of your guru. Now, there's also element of Agni. That means literally offer your weaknesses to the fire god. So do a lot of yagyas, have this intention that you're offering your weaknesses to the fire god. Okay. So that's what's going on with the sign of Cancer. Very powerful time for spiritual progress. Next is the sign of Leo. Leo, so we're looking at the Lagna. So if you're Leo Lagna, then you can, this is the section for you. Now, Leo, it's very interesting. Jupiter is the fifth house ruler and the eighth house ruler, right? So one Trikona and one Trik house. So fifth house is actually all the romantic relationships, right? And eighth house is hidden things. So this is a very kind of a tricky situation where there's possibility of like secretive romantic affairs. And that's Kritika is all about that. Agni, listen to the story in the intro section, the mythology, the whole mythology. So be very, very, so this is for Leo, especially because the Lagna Lord is the Surya sun god, and sun is also the ruler of Kritika. So very potent, very important transit for you. Is that be cautious not to fall for any, sexual tendencies or illicit affairs. Right? So keep things very pure, very, truthful, because eighth house anyway is all the secrets, hidden things, dirty things, and fifth house is romance. So that there's combination of that already, and with Kritika, energy of Kritika, this may be, something that may like blow out of proportion. That's Jupiter is expansion and Agni is also expansion in a way, right? So that's one caution. Otherwise, really wonderful time to work with your children on their, creativity, um, and create something with your children. That's fifth house, children and creativity. And you can have so there will be some kind of change and transformation for you. That's the eighth house. It's like something, the fire, you'll offer some of the things to fire, and there'll be ups and downs and sudden changes and things in your life. But mostly on the spiritual lines. Yeah, there'll be spiritual progress and how you can manifest things, accessing the deep secrets of the universe. Okay. But it's the uh, also fifth house is our education. Okay, so good for swadhyay to self study, study of the scriptures of deep esoteric subjects, all of that. And so this, and also fifth house is sports and stuff. So good for physical work, physical activity as well. And then eighth house is, chronic diseases. So this is a good time to sort of purify your your entire being, essentially like offering your weaknesses. If you've had any chronic disease, things like offering those diseases or negativity from the body into the fire. So doing fire ceremonies with this intention that you're cleansing your body, purifying your body, change and transformation is there. Okay, so that's for the sign of Leo. Next is the sign of Virgo. Virgo rising, Lagna. If your Lagna is Virgo, this section is for you. So for Virgo rising, Jupiter is your fourth lord and the seventh lord. Okay, so there's a very interesting combination. Fourth lord is your inner happiness, your mother, your place of residence. Seventh house is your spouse relationship. So you got to be careful as well in terms of, so you're not falling for any illicit affairs or interest in other people's spouses, things. That's the seventh house. Your relationships, you got to be very clean and pure in your own relationship, in your personal as well as business partnerships. Okay, that's big caution. But then also good time to purify or transform your relationship. A good time to cleanse your home environment. Fourth house. Good time to maybe organize some yagyas, fire ceremonies at your home. Excellent time for those things. Um, and good time to launch some projects from your home, like home-based businesses, things like that. That's the Krittika is the leader, right? The sun is the authority, the name and fame, the power, the leadership, the radiance, all of that. So do some creative projects from your home, or you could do those things with your partner, with your spouse. Involve your spouse in something big, create something big, or renovations in your home. Okay, so change transformation could mean renovation. Um, okay, so there's a lot of this element of change transformation with respect to these two areas, your home, or your with your mother also. Do things with your mother, maybe yagyas with your mother, lot of like intellectual discussions with your mother, learning higher wisdom with your mother. So your relationship with your mother will expand. It'll have a solid foundation. It'll be at a very deep spiritual level. So that's the energy for Virgo. And anyway, Virgo, very like intelligence focused sign. Mercury is the ruler, so they really want to focus on intelligence and buddhi dhi. And so this is a great combination for you to delve deeper and again, so purify, transform, nurture your relationships as well as your home environment, your mother, your place of residence, and show bravery and courage, and be bold and fierce and courageous in setting up some big projects, big things for your relationship and for your home. Next is the sign of Libra. So if you're Libra rising, your Lagna is Libra, then Jupiter will be your third lord and your sixth lord. Okay, so the third lord and the sixth lord we're talking about. So that's Jupiter transiting through the nakshatra of Krittika from April 17th through June 13th. Okay, so that's the transit we're talking about. So listen to the intersection, a lot of stories, mythology, the deeper energy and the meaning of Krittika. That's very important. So third ruler is, third house is our skills. So great time to learn some new skills, show some deep creativity. Could be some intellectual skills or something to do with your hands, any of that. So wonderful time to focus on developing something new. Um, and at the same time, sixth house is our job. So you can show creativity at your job. You can excel at your job. In fact, you can progress and rise in your job, be a leader in your job, be very brave and bold and courageous in your job. Now, sixth house is our Shadripus also, right? So our weakness is Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mad, Matsarya. Those six weaknesses, internal weaknesses, and sixth house is also obstacles. So external obstacles, external enemies, you can say. So good time. And third house is also our courage, right? So the combination of third house and the sixth house, it's all about like fighting the fights and being courageous, being a leader, being bold, you know, cut through the chase and uh, go through the resistance and the obstacles, um, and be triumphant. So that's the theme. So you got to be very bold, face the obstacles, face the weaknesses, overcome those, both day-to-day um, basis, which is third house. Day-to-day courage is third house, but then the big battles is sixth house. Okay, so in your life, face the big issues, big obstacles, big battles. And also third house is day-to-day, be very courageous. So remedies, we talked in the intro section. But for you, additional remedies for Libra would be learn new skills, focus on your health, start some health routines. Um, Give donations at your work. Be very careful. But so some cautions are at your work. Be very careful not to have any like illicit affairs or things like that, because that's the energy of Kritika. And Jupiter is expansion, and sixth house is your profession, work, and also sixth house is the house of breakage of marriage, right? So there's 12th from the 7th. So be careful. So that energy could be activated. But use your buddhi, use your intellect, use your discernment to focus on the penance, the tapasya, the hard path shown by Agni. Offer your weaknesses to Agni. And then third house also siblings. So you could do things with your sibling. It's a time of change and transformation, purification of your relationship with younger siblings. Third house is communication. So be very pure. A good time to come out as a leader in communication, networking, marketing, sales, all of that will be very powerful for you. Next is the sign of Scorpio. So Lagna, if your Lagna is Scorpio, if your rising sign is Scorpio, then Jupiter is your second ruler and your fifth ruler, right? So for Scorpio, it's the second lord and the fifth lord. So we're talking about the transit of Jupiter in the nakshatra of Kritika from April 17th to 13th. Watch June 13th. Watch the intersection first, please. Lots of stories and wonderful stuff. So for Scorpio, first of all, your Lagna Lord is Mars, right? So we're talking about Krittika, which is a fiery Pitta, kind of a very, assertive nakshatra. And you are, Scorpio people are, ruled by Mars. So you are very assertive, action oriented. And so for you, first of all, it's the fifth lord involved. So be cautious in your romantic relationships, not to have any illicit affairs. That's very important. Uh, and the second thing is fifth house is creativity. Okay, so great time to use this energy of Agni, the fire god, to work on some creative projects. Now, fifth house is also our digestion, right? So anyway, Agni will talk about digestion, all of that. So this is a great time to learn some things that you will digest the information very easily. Okay, that's the energy. Any new stuff you read or any new skill you want to develop, anything new, creative projects, you will really digest that knowledge into wisdom. Fifth house is also children. So work on some creative projects with your children, encourage them to be creative, and just encourage them to think big, big ambitious projects. Be bold and courageous. Face their obstacles head on. So that's the Kritika. That's the Surya, the ruled by sun, right? So um, and there could be some kind of involvement with other people's children also, because it's the foster care, or the whole story, reading the watch the introspection. So something to do with other people's children is possible. Now second house is also our speech. So be very pure in your speech, make sure you're not. So Kritika is the cutting, right? The sword or axe or blade. So it can be very sharp. Kritika is a very sharp nakshatra. So make sure your words are not uh, hurting other people. That's the second house. Kritika means second lord in Kritika could mean you end up, your words could be true, but they may actually hurt other people. So be careful in your speech. Very, very careful. Um, Good time to work on big projects, creative projects around your family wealth, how you can improve your family wealth, something to work towards long-term goals of developing family wealth, um, increasing family wealth. And also with your family, spend time with your family, some intellectual discussions, change in your relationship with your family, change in transformation in your relationship with your children, or change and transformation in their life. That's possible too. So that's the this transit of Jupiter in Krittika for Scorpio Lagna. Next is Sagittarius. So for, of course, Sagittarius, this is your Lagna Lord in Krittika, right? So we're talking about Jupiter in a nakshatra of Krittika. And so your Lagna Lord and your fourth Lord. So this is you, that's Lagna Lord, and fourth house is your inner happiness. So wonderful time for change, transformation, purification of your belief, who you are, what gives you happiness. Just focus on go within and this through discernment and intelligence and focus and purification and transformation. Uh, it will tell you what makes you happy. That's fourth house. It will tell you who you are. Okay, so your intellect, your mind, everything will be completely transformed. Set some high goals for yourself, self-improvement, self-development. And Sagittarius, anyway, is all about spiritual progress. This is a wonderful time. These 2 months are like golden period for you for your spiritual progress. Okay, so fourth house is also your mother place of residence. So you can do some things at your home with your mother. Also think of some real estate investments. This is a good time for that. And vehicles, but be cautious, don't drive too fast, things like that's Agni is fast. Okay, in general. But in your home, be careful with fire, literally, any fire issues, dangers, or so that's one caution. But overall, this will bring you name and fame, leadership, make you a leader. This will make a leader out of you. That's your Lagna Lord we're talking about, and the fourth Lord, right? And so you'll have this renewed energy to be alive, to do things, achieve big things, be a leader in any area that you desire. So that's for Sagittarius. Next is the sign of Capricorn. Okay, so if you're Capricorn Lagna, then Jupiter is your 12th Lord and your third Lord. Okay, so interesting combination. So we're talking about Jupiter in Krittika Nakshatra for these 2 months, April 17 through June 13. Watch the intersection first to understand the mythology and all of that. So it's your third Lord. Third house is all about learning new skills. And third house is communication. So make sure your communication is not super sharp. It doesn't come across, it doesn't hurt other people. But it's an excellent time to learn new skills. That's third house. Short distance travels are going to be very rewarding. But also 12th house means, careful about not having any illicit affairs or relationships that are not, holistic. And so that's the hidden things of 12th house. But otherwise, spiritual upliftment, spiritual progress, that's 12th house. At a very deep level, change, transformation, you'll see like in your subconscious mind, in your sleep, in your dreams, maybe visit from ancestors, astral travel, all of that. Literally, like, fire is the medium between man and God, right? So fire takes our offerings to the gods. So you can literally travel and meet the gods and, be in the company of gods. Um, and third house is our siblings. So this is a time to for transform your relationship with your siblings. Make it more spiritual. That's the idea. This is the opportunity. This is the window, right? So if I had any issues with your siblings earlier, this is the time to basically dispel any illusion. Sun is the Surya is the truth. This will bring out the truth. There's no need to beat around the bush or illusion anymore, because Kritika is the sword. It cuts through the chase. So very direct communication, honest communication with your siblings is important. And in general, any communication, if you're into marketing or sales or things like that, be very honest. Don't use too many words. I mean, cut through the chase. Straight away come to the appropriate message. 12th house also connection with the foreigners, foreign trips, pilgrimage, good remedies, donation to the temples, to the priests, very important. And watch the intersection for other remedies. So that's for Capricorn. So next we'll look at the sign of Aquarius. So if you're Aquarius Lagna rising sign, then Jupiter is your second ruler, second lord, and your 11th lord. So we're talking about the transit of Jupiter in the nakshatra of Krittika. See, Jupiter is the money planet for you, especially Aquarius. I mean, for everybody, it's the planet of abundance and expansion. In Bhrigunandinadi, the planet for money, finances is Venus, but Jupiter in your case for Aquarius is the second lord, which is the family wealth, and 11th lord, which is the financial gains from your profession. So Jupiter is the planet for money. So Jupiter going through Kritika means there'll be some change, transformation, purification in terms of how you view wealth, how you accumulate wealth, uh, reset kind of a, but really great opportunity to be creative, to start some projects, think about financials. You'll get a lot of opportunities. And big projects like Surya, be creative, but at the same time, like think big. Sun is big ambitions, radiance and illumination and high goals, all of that. So be bold. Uh, One caution is be careful not to have any illicit affairs or things with your friend circle. I mean, that's 11th house. Okay, so there may be temptation. Be very pure and in your speech, make sure you don't come across as very sharp. Your words could be very sharp. That's like cutting edge, or cutting like a sword. That's the Agni. And the food that you eat, this is a good time to focus on sattvic diet. I mean, that's second house is food. Okay. And then keep an eye on your desires. This Agni is expansive, Jupiter is expansive, so 11th houses are desires. So there could be a lot of sexual desires or just random, lot of expansion of desires. So be careful about your desires, but otherwise, good time for change and transformation that will bring financial gains. Next is the sign of Pisces. So if you're Pisces Lagna, then Jupiter is your Lagna Lord, of course, and Jupiter is your 10th Lord. So this is the time when you can really shine in your career. Sun is the leader. Be a leader, and do some big creative projects in your career. Show some creativity, and also the first house. That's the change and transformation of yourself. So this 2 months will actually change you as a person, and also big changes and transformations at your work, in your profession, or your business. But you got to set high goals, like very ambitious projects, big projects. That's what Sun does, Kritika. And careful about any illicit affairs at work. Uh, but then you should have the intelligence. Use your intelligence and discernment. Use your your buddhi, at work, and then for your own change transformation as well. Um, but by the end of this period, you'll have this like spiritual awakening kind of thing, right? So going through this test of Agni Pariksha, sort of. So that's like you walk through the fire. And come out as a purified like gold, so you'll be a gold by the end of this period. So great time for self change, purification, transformation, and also for your career and your work. So that's all for the 12 signs. And watch the intersection. And if you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon to get the notifications. And thanks for watching. Appreciate your support.